Hi everyone, welcome to Dragon Image. Today we're here in our studio and we're having a look at flat lay setups. Occasionally what tends to happen is people kind of call us and give us a challenge and we have to kind of figure out if that works or doesn't work. Normally when someone calls for a flat lay setup, this is kind of the setup that we like to go with. We've got these two soft LEDs. These are producing very, very soft light, but one of the issues with this particular setup is that they're kind of very good at lighting this area, but one of the problems is that the person who asked for this setup is basically recording herself doing artwork. So she's got a table and she wants to be able to draw and do those type of things on the table. The problem with this lighting setup is that basically as my hand gets closer to the paper, you can kind of see that I'm casting all these shadows. The problem with small light sources like this, even though they're soft, is that they're small. And small light sources create harsh shadows. And so to eliminate that, we had to come up with an alternative solution. So what we're going to do is, so this setup is great for photography, where you've got like stuff that is just basically being put there and you've got a little bit of shadowing and that's not really a problem, but it's not particularly great for her scenario. So what we did is we set up a different scenario to try to get to the bottom of it, and we'll take you into that room now. Okay, so this room here better represents the space that she's working in, obviously not acoustically because I have no idea what her acoustics are like. But basically we've got a white room with a white ceiling, and the reason that we decided to shoot in a room like this is because the white ceiling gives us the ability to bounce light. Let's turn this on. Okay, so what's happening now is we've got the light bouncing off the ceiling. When light bounces off the ceiling in a way becomes the light source. That means that we're creating a lot less kind of shadowing, and we've got a lot softer, kind of more even illumination. This is better for her because when you're drawing and stuff like that, you don't want the shadow coming across and making it hard to see, and allowing us to kind of shoot that in a much cleaner way. What we've also got is we've got this audio boom stand. We've got this little camera, which is a little camcorder. I like using camcorders because, generally speaking, for bang for buck, they're quite useful for this type of work. You've got zoom functionality, you've got the ability to go out via HDMI. This particular one has clean HDMI out. You have the option to power it via mains, and normally comes with the actual camera itself, which is handy. And you've also got this handy little screen, which allows us to actually see where we're kind of positioning it. So what we've got to do here is we're going to set this all up, and we're going to show you exactly how we'd shoot this using OBS with a 2-camera setup. Okay, so we're in the room. We've got our light pointing straight up the ceiling, which is giving us this soft, even kind of illumination. We've got our camera overhead. This is connected using, so it's being powered by mains. So the idea here is that we're not having to worry about the kind of power running out, or the battery life, or recharging and all that kind of crap. So we've just kind of got it mains powered. And then we've also got the HDMI cable coming out of it. That is going into a little USB adapter, which is converting the HDMI to USB. And then we've just got an extension cable for USB going into my laptop. So basically, if we come around to this side, you can see my laptop here. So on my laptop, you have OBS. So OBS is a free program which allows you to do streaming and mixing and all sorts of different things. One of the great things about OBS is that you can kind of create scenes and so forth. So what I'll do is I'll just delete all the scenes I've currently got. Yep. Delete this one too. Yep. And delete this one. You need at least one scene. Okay. So let's just leave that scene and delete these 2 captures. And so basically what I can do here is I can now tell OBS what I want my screen to be recording. So if I press plus, I can select video capture device, which in this particular case will be the USB from my little camera, and you can see that appearing here. And I can select USB. Okay, so now this is my video feed, and I can select OK. So now you can see that the feed from the top camera is coming down, and I've got my kind of position. Okay, let's just say that I wanted to have a picture-in-picture, for instance, in this particular case, when I'm in the bottom right corner of me from the webcam. This particular laptop's webcam is in a weird position, but I can just basically go here again. I click plus. I go video capture device. I can name this webcam if I really want to. And then I can have integrated webcam, okay? And then select okay. This now allows me to, I can select the webcam and I can now move this. Because my webcam is a lower resolution than my screen, it appears smaller and I can kind of grab that corner and make it as big and small as I want. There are lots of tutorial videos on how to use OBS, but one of the things you can also do is if you hold different buttons, you can crop into, so for instance, in this case it's Alt, I can crop into the picture and adjust its size. There we go. And now that allows me to have the picture-in-picture look. As you can see here from the shadowing is significantly better than it was in the other room, so this is set up for lighting is ideal. And then what I can do is say, let's just say I want to be able to switch from picture-in-picture to non-picture-in-picture to just me. Okay, so then I go plus, add a new scene, so we'll just call this web, which will be the webcam itself, and go okay, add video capture device, integrated webcam, go okay. No. Is it not coming up? But you can kind of see just kind of the ease of kind of these types of things. Let me just delete that one. And I should, actually let me just see. Duplicate. Yep, that's probably easier. So if I duplicate it, then I can just select this. Make it as big as I need it to be. And now what I can do is I can kind of switch between those two kind of scenes, depending on what I'm trying to talk about. And the same thing applies if I wanted to go the other way. So if we go duplicate again, and in this particular one, I'm just going to remove that one. Okay, so now I've got three scenes. I've got the top-down kind of drawing, kind of explaining things kind of scene. I've got the me just as a straight kind of picture, and then I've also got the picture-in-picture kind of view, and I can click, you can see that disappear. To record in OBS, you just press start recording. Again, I'm not going through all the settings of OBS. There are hundreds of tutorial videos in regards to OBS that you can use. And if you wanted to flip this picture because it's upside down, it's one of those kind of settings you can just do. You can just rotate it. But there you have it. So this is a basic kind of setup designed specifically for people who want to be able to do artwork and just want a really clean kind of basic kind of setup. You could mount this camera onto any other kind of device. We did toy around with the idea of mounting it to the desk directly, but then we thought because of movement from drawing and so forth, adding that movement to the camera would not be a great idea since the camera itself does kind of wobble a bit if you do move it, but in a static position, it's absolutely fine and affordable. I could decide to also have light on me because obviously at the moment I'm somewhat badly lit, but I could get one of the kind of smaller ones we saw at the beginning of the video just to light me a little bit, just to kind of create a bit more interest there, to kind of get that kind of effect. And there you have it. So if you're interested in flat lay or anything video or need help with something, contact your local Dragon Image. We're always happy to help. Thanks.